Battlefield 1 classes stay true to the classic format. Selecting one will give you and your squad benefits, but without a mix, your squad will lack some vital components. Each class has a different set of weapons, a different set of equipment that they bring to the battle to help contribute to the success of the team. Depending on the scenario, you'll need to determine which class would be the most effective, so let's go through some of the classes and best practices. Ideal to taking down close-range infantry and land vehicles, Assault's primary weapons include shotguns and submachine guns. Stick to the trenches and buildings to maintain cover and catch the enemies up close. Their equipment includes some heavy explosives, anti-tank grenades and dynamite for up close and personal, with an anti-tank rocket able to take down targets from long range. With infantry only, this is the best class to take down tanks. Work together with a few others and you can bring them down in no time. Medic is one of the most well-rounded and most appreciated classes in Battlefield. Great for almost all scenarios, he's armed with a medium-range, single-fire or semi-auto rifle. You can at least get into the gunfight or lay down some suppression, if not kill the enemy, while also being a huge value add for your team. Able to heal injured teammates and get them back on the battlefield faster, and even reviving fallen teammates if you can get to them fast enough. You can also combo this equipment or even switch it out completely for the rifle grenade, capable of launching smokes, frags, and even light anti-vehicle rounds farther distances than the average throw. With some of the most deadly weaponry, the light machine guns, support has high damage from range, huge magazines to mow through enemies, and some great equipment to benefit the entire team. Crucial to have at least one for every other squad or so, they can resupply the team with ammunition and explosives with their ammo crate. They're also the class with the traps, which becomes great when trying to protect your flank routes, as well as helping to defend objectives. Tripwires with explosives, fire, and even gas can make quick work of an unsuspecting enemy. Finally, the Scout is best known for hanging back and picking off enemies with the sniper rifle. Designed for long-range support, these sharpshooters can suppress and kill enemies from hundreds of meters away, having to deal with bullet velocity and drop-off. It requires a lot of skill, but the reward is very strong. Besides kills, with the equipment, the snipers can contribute in other ways from range, including with the new spotting scope. This will allow you to scan the battlefield from extreme range, and rather than your average spotting, it will highlight the entire player or vehicle in red. They can also help take down vehicles with their special K-bullets. Target the right weak points on the vehicles to increase the amount of damage. If you find yourself in a lot of close range situations, you can also bring out the flare gun, capable of being shot up in the air and automatically spotting targets within the radius, or switch it to flash to blind the enemies. Try out all the classes and see which fits best with you. There will be different situations where some are better than others though. Learn those, master the equipment, and destroy it on the battlefield. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Stone Mountain 64 for Battlefield Bootcamp.
Hey guys, Jack Frags here, and in this video I'll be offering up some hot tips and strategy for the Sinai Desert map in Battlefield 1. Fun fact, this is one of the biggest Battlefield maps ever made. Let that sink in for a minute. Admittedly, a lot of that is desert area towards the flag, but facts are facts. And because of its size, it can be a dangerous place to get around, and how, pray tell, can a Battlefield player survive in such a harsh climate? Let's see. If you're a big infantry player, there are a number of flags that you ideally want to float between. The antenna on C flag at the top of the map, the train station at D, and the outskirts flag at B. These are your best bets to go between as an infantry player. In between you and those flags is a village area, and it's the most built up area on the map, so SMGs on assault players can do very well here. Don't let that fool you though, because there are snipers everywhere on this map. Over towards B, there are multiple sniper spots near the rocks, so even heading over there can be dangerous. Keep out of line of sight as best you can and use the sand dunes and rocks as cover. If the dust storm comes in, even better, because you can easily use the horses to sneak behind enemy cover without being seen. And learn the spawn locations of the elite classes too. They spawn at 3 of the flags. If you want the tank hunter, he's over at E, the flame trooper spawns at B, and the sentry spawns over at F. Once they've been used and the player is killed, I believe they spawn back in after a few minutes, so be on the lookout. If you want to play as a sniper on Sinai Desert, then you've got a wealth of positions to choose from. Over at F there are some rock cliffs you can get on top of and have a good lookout over towards the middle of the map. This point is also perfect for the rush game mode. If you're attacking, try and get up on top of the rocks and you'll have a perfect look down onto the MCOMs. Over towards the B flag near the rocks is another good sniper location. You can have a really good view towards the train station and the middle of the map, and you can pick players off as they try to cross the desert. And when getting around the map, you're going to want to use the vehicles wherever possible because it's just huge. You don't want to be running through the desert with all the open area and snipers out there. Use the transport vehicles whenever possible and utilise the horses, but remember you're always going to be very vulnerable on a horse. Keep your rifle out when you're moving around and use your sword when you get up close. In all honesty though, it's probably easier sometimes to just run people over with the horse than it is to slow down and to swipe them. If you need to reload your rifle, remember that you'll need to stop sprinting, so slow down. On the other side of the fence, if you come up against someone on a horse, there's a real tendency to shoot the bigger target, which of course is the horse. But that's a mistake. Horses have way more health than a player, and as such it's much easier to aim for the player on top of the horse. Be careful though, because if they were sprinting, the horse will carry on in that direction just like a jeep would in BF4, and if it comes near you and hits you, it will kill you. The hitboxes are pretty large. If you come up against a vehicle on a horse, you do have 2 light anti-tank grenades to utilise, but really they aren't going to do that much damage against tanks unless they're already damaged quite badly, but kills are possible. And remember about the armoured train as well. If your team has it, use it. There are gunner spots throughout it, and the driver can stop at 2 of the flags and help to capture them. Be wary though, because it's extremely vulnerable from the sky. In fact, planes with rockets or the tank hunter packages can do some serious damage, and another tactic is for assault players to drop down mines on the track. The train can do very little about them itself, so they're going to do some real damage if they hit. And another thing about planes, if they're taking control of the game, remember that the artillery truck has an anti-air package available. Use it if you need to. The artillery truck can be fairly underutilized because people want to mainly focus on the tanks, but sometimes the air vehicles really do need to be dealt with. And finally, when playing Rush, there's a big new tool at your disposal: artillery. When you're defending, you can run up to an objective and hold Use on it to send out artillery. It's worth using it because if nothing else is keeping the attacking team back or on their toes, you can do it on both objectives and it will detect enemy positions and send out a massive barrage of fire. Could save your ass if you're in a pinch. And that's all for today guys. I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks for the Sinai Desert map in the Battlefield 1 beta. As always, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, a thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one.
What's going on guys, Ponyline here. Today I wanted to go ahead and make a general overview video. The reason for this is that the Battlefield 1 open beta will be many people's first time playing the Battlefield franchise. There's also the case that a lot of people have played the past Battlefields but don't know how the current vehicle system works. So this video is going to be focused on the vehicle loadout system, how you should choose your vehicle, and maybe which loadout will be the proper loadout for you to use. So let's go ahead and break down into this. To start with, when you're in the deploy screen, you're going to notice different icons that are going to be represented in your home deployment screen at the start of every round. These icons are going to represent the different vehicles that you're going to be able to choose from. Generally speaking, since during the beta, Sinai Desert is going to be the only map available, we're just going to be covering what you're going to find on this map in particular. So from the spawn deploy screen, you're going to notice at the beginning of every round, there's going to be 2 horses available, there's going to be 2 tanks available, and 3 planes available. Now, of course, there's also going to be some vehicles, such as just transportation vehicles that will be in the spawn, but you'll just have to spawn and run to the vehicle to actually get into those. During the process of a round, when more flags such as E are captured, you're going to notice that there's going to be more vehicles for you to choose from. When you see that there's a vehicle that you'd like to spawn on, all you need to do is click that icon. Once you've clicked the icon, you do not need to feel like you are in a rush to actually go ahead and deploy on that vehicle. You can actually take your time and choose the proper loadout for you to use. And that's what we're going to be discussing about during this video. Once you have chosen your icon, there's 2 different ways that you can go ahead and choose your loadout for your vehicle. One is to go through the customize screen, which is very useful if you want to get a breakdown on what your loadout is capable of doing. The second option, which is the faster option, is from the deploy screen itself. You will see the vehicle icon at the bottom middle of your screen where you'll be able to select it, and then from there you can choose which loadout you will want. Now, of course, there's not going to be a description for the vehicle, but if you already know the loadout systems and how they work, it is the fastest option for you to go ahead and choose. With the deploy screen being covered, I'm going to go ahead and break down into each of the individual class loadouts to give a brief overview, starting with the tanks. Once the tank icon is selected, you're going to notice that there's 3 different types of tanks that you can choose from: the light tank, the landship tank, and the heavy tank. Each serve their own purpose when fighting on the battlefield. As this is more of an entry-level overview for the vehicle setup, I'm not going to go into detail about all the different loadouts. My suggestion is to go ahead into the customize screen under each loadout once you find out what kind of vehicle you want to use and find the perfect fit for you. To start with, the light tank is meant more as a solo play where you're able to go in, fight infantry, be very maneuverable, as well as be able to help support with vehicles and be long, medium, or close range option. The second type of tank is the landship tank. The landship tank is meant for you to be able to support your gunners. You are there as a driver to be able to line up your gunners to be able to take down other tanks as well as infantry. The third tank option is the heavy tank. Unlike the landship tank, the heavy tank comes with more seats. It's meant more for your gunners to be able to support you as the driver of the tank. It can take more damage as well as dish out more damage than the other tanks. During the beta, they added another vehicle to the tank class, and that would be the artillery truck. It's meant to be a medium and long range option where you as the driver are able to switch to a secondary seat and shoot a long range projectile. The second vehicle icon to be covered will be the planes. As with the tanks, there are multiple different types of planes that you can choose from. The first will be the fighter plane. The fighter plane is the lighter, more maneuverable option of the planes. It is meant to engage with aerial vehicles first, and then infantry and lighter vehicles second. The second type of plane is the attack plane. The attack plane is meant to be a hybrid where you have a gunner and are able to attack both the ground and aerial targets as well. It is a slower, heavier option. The third type of plane is the bomber plane, where you get 2 gunners, one in the front and one in the back. It is a very slow-moving vehicle. It is not meant to engage with air, but is primarily meant to be able to bomb targets on the ground. The last vehicle icon I'm going to cover in this video will be the horses. The horse is one of the new vehicles that was added in during the beta. It gives you the option to have a rifle as your primary weapon and a sword as a secondary. That way you're able to engage both medium, long, and close range. It is a very maneuverable option and is especially effective during the sandstorm. This basically covers all the information I wanted to go ahead and cover for an entry-level vehicle loadout tutorial for you guys. Hope you guys found the information useful. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask in the comment section. And if you want more videos like this, please let me know. Have a great day, guys.
Welcome to Battlefield, comrade. My name is Stone Mountain, and while some of you may be veterans to wars, including those of the future, for many of you, this is a new experience, Battlefield 1. And I'm here to whip your ass into shape. To start, drop and give me 20! Let's go into some of the basics and what makes this game different. Squads are the foundation of Battlefield's format. It's a keystone that's been around for years. You're not one of the lonesome soldiers roaming aimlessly around the map, shooting at things, I hope. You're part of a unit designed to work together and secure tactical objectives while eliminating hostile units. Each squad can have 5 members in it, one of which being the leader, designating priority objectives. Spawn off of each other to maintain a close battle presence and push those objectives. Now that you've found your squad and have started working together, it's time to specialize within those. Depending on your playstyle and what's called for in the situation, there should be a class for you. With 4 basic classes, you'll be met with different equipment and weapons to aid you, depending on whichever you choose. You can play as the sniper class, killing enemies from long range, finding high ground and marking targets using the spotting scope, or play in the front lines, using a medic, able to heal your comrades, yourself, and even bring them back to their feet after falling with a syringe. You can also support the entire team with the critical support class. Wielding a devastating light machine gun, he's capable of resupplying ammunitions and explosives to anybody and is great for defending objectives. If you're in need of a little more boom, though, that brings us to the assault. Armed with close-range SMGs and shotguns, he also has some incredible firepower with anti-tank grenades and other explosives to destroy enemy equipment and vehicles. Vehicles are where the heavy destruction comes into Battlefield. Depending on your battle scenario you're faced with, you could be up against some devastating tanks, planes, and even cavalry. With multiple vehicle types in each class, and even more specialized loadouts for each, you'll be able to destroy any target with enough training. Choose high explosive long range howitzer tank, armed with artillery rounds, able to destroy and level buildings and annihilate tanks from range. Or bring out a 3-seated bomber plane, equipped with fire bombs, laying down fire on an objective enemies are trying to capture, with 2 friendly squad mates defending you with the turrets on the plane. The map size and scale are immense. The vehicles are going to be key to getting you around and dominating objectives. Learn the classes, vehicles, what the counters are to each. You may have heard of this game being called rock, paper, scissors oriented, and it very much is so. Depending on the situation, one play will win, one play will be a counter to it. Figure out which is which, and bring the right equipment to the right battle. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck out there. This has been Stone Mountain 64 for Battlefield Boot Camp.
デルさん、ヤッホー、ピーの。もうちょっとしたらご飯タイムなので、それまで見させてもらいますん。いらっしゃいませ。ごゆるりと。説明全部英語、あら。 ごまちゃんも後で多分配信でやると思います。わら。了解です。
We are losing objective Charlie. We have lost objective Edward. We have taken objective Freddy.
Mühimmat. Aha orada.
We have lost objective Freddy.
Tahrip cephanelerini kurdum.
We have taken objective Butter. We are losing objective George.
マップ広いですね。あら。うんうん。
Taken objective Charlie. We are losing objective Charlie. We have lost objective Charlie. We are losing objective Butter.
お見事。
Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
Tetikçi kuruldu. Bomba gönderiyorum. Ya.
We are losing objective butter. Hedefi müdafaa edin. We have taken objective Charlie.
Take the objective. Capture the objective now.
We are losing Objective George.
Dress your wounds. That's objective captured.
EA アカウント取ってなかったので手続きしてました。わら。あ、そろそろご飯タイムなので行ってきますね。はい。いってらっしゃい。
Giddy up.
We have taken Objective George.
では、P の健闘を祈るん。わら。
Back up. Yeah. Giddy up. Right.
We have taken Objective Apples.
We've got to capture the position. Yeah. Tank spotted!
We are losing objective apples.
Look lively! Enemy shock trooper!
We have taken objective butter. We We have lost objective Duff. We have taken objective Edward. We have lost objective Charlie. We have taken objective Freddy.
Look up! Blade!
We have lost objective Butter. We have taken objective Charlie.
Objective is ours! Keep it together, lads!
Halfway there, we have the upper hand. We have taken objective Duff.
Objective's ours! We did it, lads!
We have lost objective Charlie.
Objective lost! Get out of bed!
We have lost objective Freddy. We have taken objective Charlie.
一旦お風呂休憩します。ではでは。